Thanks for this very warm welcome. It's really a great pleasure for me to open this AKIS seminar, for which we've waited for quite some time. We were really hoping, I was just seeing in the chat many of you saying from the community, it would have been great to see each other face to face indeed. So it's been a long time, and this is why we have originally postponed the seminar, but unfortunately, this is not true due to the circumstances. And I really hope that the seminar, we can make it as interactive as this is possible online. So this is also a bit of an experiment that we have for the first time, because all that we normally do, those of you that are familiar with the way that we work, we do this in a co-creative, interactive manner, so to speak. We are AKIS ourselves, and this is a little bit a challenge. But we'll try, of course, the best. So what I'm very pleased to see that in the room, we're at 176 participants for the moment, probably some still coming. We really represent the AKIS already. So as Sarah has kindly already spelled out the acronym and what it means, so I don't have to do that again. But this is great that we have basically all the community here, from member state authorities, from managing authorities, from advisory system areas, from business, from media, from science, you name it, we're all here together. So this is great that we're basically an ecosystem in ourselves, and that I hope we have lots of interesting things we can take forward, because there's lots of us for us to do. I also want to, before I go a little bit into content, say a big thanks, because this is a super challenge for the Service Point to organize this seminar online and make it interactive with breakouts and with sessions where we still can work in smaller groups. So a big thanks up front. And of course, Pakum, Luna, Eyenga, whom you most know, will also have a little welcome and tell you more about the challenges there. Then going really into the content. I mean, we have been saying this a lot of times, so that business as usual in knowledge exchange, innovation and research is no longer an option. That is true, but I think today as we speak, within COVID and with recovery, economic recovery coming ahead, and this recovery having to be Green Deal oriented and green, this is more true than ever. So it was always true before. We wanted to make it sound dramatic and by saying business is no longer an option, business as usual, but this is very much true and even much more so today. So I think the seminar comes very timely in this setting, because there's a real need to get our things together for the next period of the Common Agricultural Policy and AKIS and EIP thereunder. So I will show a couple of slides. So let's see if I can move them. Yes. So what I will do now is do what Sarah has announced a little bit, go into details of things that we might be looking in during the seminar. So I don't seem to have the control, so I'm trying, but yeah. Okay, so first of all, when opening a seminar like this, I mean, we're looking into the future, yes, it's true, but to do that, it's probably good to first look at the past and to see, okay, what have we achieved already? What can we build on? What maybe haven't we achieved yet, and what can we look at in the future? So most of you coming from the EIP community have seen, of course, this slide. So this is something that we have all attempted to work on in the past and up until now. So with the farmers and the foresters at the center, there was this feeling that not enough that we do in knowledge exchange, innovation and research actually gets to the end user. So the end user is really at the core of everything that we do, and we've really tried to connect policies. The EIP, I mean, I'm always proud to say, is the really the alive and kicking last one of the European innovation partnerships. All the other ones, they have either diminished or it was difficult to implement them. With the EIP, we're alive and kicking today. Why is that so? Because we fund it under the rural development and we link it to Horizon 2020, to the research projects. So we really have this exchange from research ideas coming from bottom up, the research results trying and the innovation and knowledge coming out, feeding it in back, and to also exchange at European level and to collect what is already there, because we don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. I think there we can really claim that we've done or we've had a success, and that we can really build on this. So on the next slide, I wanted to show you a little bit more of what we have achieved, but it doesn't seem to be reacting. So, I mean, what we have, maybe if the organizers can take the control back and move the slides. So there, what you already know, most of you, that we have in almost all the rural development programs by now, implementing the EIP with innovative projects. We have more than 1,500 operational groups running. This is really a great success when we look at the start and how difficult it was. And we still plan to reach the dream number that actually you have given us, the more than 3,200 operational groups. We still have 4 years to go, so we're still banking on actually managing that. And we have more than 119 multi-actor projects where we really try to get in the operational groups from the start and get a circle going. So I think we can really say, without being too arrogant, that we have a growing and thriving network. So the next slide really is normally a slide which is an absolute no-go, I think, in terms of visibility. So this is how a PowerPoint slide should not be. But I left it there because it communicates a message. It communicates that actually the operational groups work on all issues that are important for foresters and farmers nowadays. So we cover everything, and there's not a real clear hit list of things to do. But again, without being, you know, let's say overdoing what we've achieved already. But if you look at the topics that we work on, they're to 65% environmental and climate related. So which means actually that we work on the Green Deal before it even was invented. So it's not that we're starting from scratch. So we've done a lot already. And I think the orientation is right, even if we have to reinforce that further. But I think content-wise, we can really say that this works well. So with regards to the operational groups, that is on the next slide, I think there it is really great that we can see that there's more and more of them popping up in all of the member states. And I hope that during this seminar, we also have time to actually exchange a bit what was stimulating, what worked well, what worked less well, and what for an integrated AKIS could be cornerstones of for future development of that policy, because we still will continue to foster and focus on operational groups in the future. So now, why AKIS? So that's why do we actually need an AKIS, and who's involved in AKIS? So as a system, all the important actors of that system have to be part of it. So that really means advisors, businesses, media, organization, education, researchers, and so on. And what we have seen that in the future, in any regional, local, national context, we have all those actors. They're there, but they're very often not interlinked, not interconnected strongly enough, profiting from each other, profiting from experiences or working together. And this is a little bit the issue. This is when we get asked, oh, is this a completely new policy? No, it's not. So it's something that we have been working on for quite a while, but maybe on the different compartments that we have been working. But to see the bigger picture and to see it all is quite another thing yet. As announced by Sarah, I also wanted to say obviously something on the new Common Agricultural Policy coming from Director General Agriculture and Rural Development. Of course, this is what I have to do. And I think what we have been trying to convey is this message already with the strategic objectives that we have. We have 9 of those in the Common Agricultural Policy of the future, and a cross-cutting objective, knowledge and innovation. So this is really important to say that we have this, so servicing basically all the specific objectives. And this also gives the area we work on a really different importance. So because it's there, it's interlinking, and it actually serves all the purposes of the CAPs. So in the next slide, in the next 2 slides, so when you look already, the next one we can go to, so we have the AKIS toolbox that we have developed, as we call it. So you all know what's in the toolbox already, because most of you are either working on the CAP strategic plans already, or at least working with the elements, so that you know that the cornerstones are the EIP and the AKIS, and each CAP strategic plan will, for the first time, so include a section. So it's a sort of mini strategy already in any local or regional context on how to stimulate the exchange of knowledge and innovation, and also the development of digital technologies in agriculture. Then we have the advice, training, innovation support services, and also the knowledge support under rural development. And all of this will be linked to much more that we will be able to do in the area under Horizon Europe. I've left this figure here of 10 billion. All of those that are very well informed know that in the latest multi-annual financial framework, we're not at 10 billion anymore. We're currently at around 9 billion. But as negotiations still go on with the European Parliament, I have not corrected that, because whatever the final figure is, anywhere between 9 and 10 billion, it's much more than we had available in the past. And I think this is only fair when I go back to my initial statement saying, okay, we have a Green Deal, we have a green recovery, we are working on sustainable agriculture and forestry. So there is need for these funds. So to finish up, before I hand over to Paco, what could be main action points? This is for you to debate, obviously, and for you to decide if this is really relevant in the context of the AKISs of the future. But what we have been seeing is that there might be an issue to look at advisors and innovation support services. When we look at the figures on how they are involved in the operational groups, well, maybe not as well as could be. So we're at 9% currently if we look at the figures. And then looking at the crucial role that advisors and innovation support service can play with regards to capturing of practice needs, brokerage that they can do to set up operational group, innovative action projects, then to facilitate also between interactive innovation projects to disseminate. So what is great in one operational group might be useful for other farmers and foresters out there that need the services and the advisory services. So, and also to build bridges between the CAP and the Horizon project. So maybe that's an issue where we could focus and zoom in a little bit during the 3 days that we spent together here. To continue, it's also in relation to my initial statement. So when we really want to work on a green recovery, when we want to work with new technologies, with new knowledge with new things, obviously you have to have a sort of lifelong learning training concept of everybody, and particularly advisors, because there is really a high development of these competences. So maybe we have to look at that, and how can we best ensure that. Then the researchers, this has been a data of ours basically since we start working with the EIP. So how can we make it more rewarding for farmers, for researchers to directly work with farmers and on farmers' needs or foresters' needs? So how can we actually do that? So we have some ideas and we have developed some initial ideas, but maybe we can reinforce that. And then also the member states CAP networks. There is maybe more that we can do to provide for learning and knowledge exchange also among member states. So the linkages between operational groups and Horizon Europe, and also fostering innovation. So I think looking at all of these different elements together, really the theme of the day is, okay, how can we do better in the interlinking, and how can we reflect that, as Sarah said in the initial statement, better in the strategies, the CAP strategic plan, but also at other levels that are coming ahead, and how can we do that? It will be a great pleasure to listening to all your ideas. So tomorrow there will be the formal opening. So I was just the informal, basically getting us into this because my commissioner will do the formal part tomorrow. So I guess it's up and over to Pacom now.